Welcome to Château de Pazayac. Some of you will just go, I know her face! Because we've been low-key on Instagram for like 4.5 years. We moved to Château de Pazayac in 2021. And we started out with a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm. And then along the way, we just sort of fizzled out. But I have regained my strength. We had a baby in 2022, and life just got very lifey. The costs for certain things were outrageous, so we weren't actually doing a lot of renovating. And then you're just a family living your life. So while we were living in Castle, I was not feeling very inspired to actually take action and start filming. But recently, we have decided to just, well, to hell with everything. We're gonna renovate. This is our new channel on YouTube, and we'll see what we're gonna do here. I hope you like it. Welcome to France. Welcome to Château de Pazayac. So what I said, you know what, to hell with everything, we're just gonna renovate. We should be doing it correctly. We should be opening up walls, and we should be replacing electricity, and we should be really stripping it down to its bare bones and just really renovate it, which we will somewhere in the future. But in the meantime, we're also really sick of living in a castle that's literally crumbling beneath our feet, hands, eyes, because the paint is coming down and the pieces of the wall are actually coming down, and every time you just go somewhere, you just see that and you realize that you're living in a house that's very much unfinished. So we're beautifying the castle instead of actually renovating it. There will be rooms that we're doing that we will need to redo somewhere in future. And that's fine, because right now we just want to live in a house that's pretty again. So that's why I had to laugh before, because we're not actually renovating, we're actually beautifying it, giving it a glow up, if you will. So, yeah, let's go do that. One of the projects you and me will be tackling today is winterproofing the castle a little bit, because our windows are not in great state. We will replace them one by one at a time, but for now, they are really drafty, and in the winter it gets really cold. So let me show you what I mean. So these are our windows in the kitchen, and as you can see here, you can actually see outside from the inside, and not through the window, but through the actual wood. So what we did last years, we took microfiber cloths and stuffed them in there. This year we want to make it a little bit, well, I'm not going to say pretty, but we want to do it better. The same goes for the doors in the kitchen. These are already, I don't know if you can see it very well. Oops, sorry. This is a gap between the doors as well. You can, if my camera wants to, yes, you can see like a sliver of light. We have already placed one of these strips in here to, well, get the worst of it. But that's not enough. When you put your hand on it, it's really cold. And especially up there, it's not closing properly. And that's fine for now. This, of course, we can't just stuff with something and then tape it off, because we actively use this door. So I'm trying to figure out another solution for it. Somewhere in the future, we want to replace these doors. This is a kitchen. This is a hallway. And as you can see here, they have actually made these doors into, where's my finger? Into the arched shape of the hallway, which I adore. And then over here in the kitchen, they didn't. They just said, we're going to make square doors, and then we'll put a piece of wood on it that has the square of the door. So this is something I really love to tackle when we get the new kitchen eventually. If possible, I would love doors that open to the outside as well, because that's just easier with well, cleaning your feet and stuff like that, because right now we can't have a mat when you enter the kitchen, and the kitchen is always really filthy because of it. So I would really love doors that open to the outside, and then you can have something permanent on the inside to clean your feet. For now, this is what we're working with, and yeah, let's fix it today. These are the windows in my office, and I have actually prepped these with a little bristle. And oh, hold on, it doesn't want to focus on it. There you go, a little bristle. This is actually working really well, and it's keeping the cold out okay-ish. And these windows are one of the best windows we have. Actually, the only thing that we need to do is the outside. As you can see, the paint and the putty is just coming off in little bits, which makes it difficult to clean the rooms, the windows, which is why I hardly ever clean them. But you're in luck, because today I am prepping them for winter as well. Because I just hung this little gem of a thing, and I want to actually be able to see the birds. Like, these are the windows I just cleaned, and then these are the windows I still need to clean. It's like you're looking through a milk glass. And this is the debris that's just lying there on the floor after I've cleaned the windows. So you clean the windows, and then you also have to vacuum clean. For a very cool project that I am keeping secret for a little bit, I need to clean out the courtyard between these two houses over here. Excuse the mess. The kids have built a castle over here yesterday. Ironically, I mean, if you live in a castle, you're still building castles as a kid, apparently. Anyway, this is our middle house. Like, the castle's over there. Here, excuse me. Farthest left, middle house. And then the house on the farthest right, over there. And this little courtyard in between is gonna have a function very soon. And I need to clean it because, well, it's a bit overgrown. So the pallets that we have over here, ironically, have stood in front of the garage for a month now. And right about when I was to clean this, Jan yesterday actually moved them here. These are going to be my compost bins, but I need to make them into compost bins. And until then, they're just lying around somewhere. So now we have to double move them, because I'm going to move them from here as well. So what a great way to not communicate and then have to do things double. Fun story about this little courtyard. When we just moved in here, we were looking for a place to put the cats for a few weeks, you know, so they can get used to the surroundings and not walk away. So we figured we might as well put them over there, since it was such like a little area that you can close off. And we stepped inside, and they kept dogs here. And there were still some, I don't know, like old carpets or old towers or something on the floor. And we stepped in and we were just assessing the little cage for the cats to see whether or not it would be a good idea. And I just kept smacking at my legs and like, oh, it itches, it itches. And my husband, he just said, oh, don't be whiny about this. They're just flies, you know, what are you smacking yourself for? Until I looked down onto my bare legs and I saw fleas, so much fleas. Turns out that these dogs were flea ridden, and the towels and the stuff that was there on the floor completely covered in fleas because the dogs were now gone and they were just like, oh, we're looking for a new owner. Will you be my owner? So we ran out, we closed the door, and we were like, okay, we're not coming in here for a good while. And basically ever since, so that's 4.5 years ago, basically ever since we just let it be over here because, well, we didn't have anything to do there and we just left it. We need to go find a place to put all the green stuff that I'm pulling out of there. And then maybe at the same time I can locate a spot for my compost bin because that's going to be roughly over here as well. This is a great place to put it. I can reach it with my, what do you call those things? Like something barrow wheel. I have all these old stones over here that we found. And I also don't want to cover them up. But I can't actually walk further because we have all the logs over there from the tree that's fallen. So I'm just gonna dump it over here somewhere. It'll go away with time. And somewhere around here I want my compost bin as well. But that's maybe a project for another day. Let's not do all the things all at once. Kind of forgot that this is a tiled area. So I don't know what their plan was once upon a time, but there are still tiles on the floor. Stones is actually a better word because they're not tiles, they're travertin stones. But this overgrowth, of course, has completely eaten like the joints. So now everything is coming loose and I just pulled out a big old root from something and I tore up half of the terrace, if we want to call it that. It's starting to look much better. All in all, we got a lot done in, I don't know, it's like 2 hours or something. Also because this accidentally turned into a family project, which is always very nice when it happens. I just set out to do this for our secret project, and then Jan came along and he was like, "Hey, what you doing?" And he helped. And then the kids came, and then the dogs. Well, the dogs were dogs. So yeah, this is the result of just 2 hours work, and I'm pretty content. We have a plan how to tackle the rest, and let's get it done. It's actually really nice to finally, after 4.5 years, get this piece, which is really close by where we live every day, to just get this piece cleaned up a bit. So this is what we're doing. Right. Just taking the yarn and sticking it in the holes. That's, I don't know if they did it, but it feels like something the people who lived here in the Middle Ages would have done. And Jan actually said, I think the birds are gonna get it from the other side and start tearing it out, but we'll see about that. At least it won't be as ugly as the microfiber cloths that we used to push in. So this is step 1. And then step 2 will be the actual tape to cover it all up. And now for the finishing touch. Oh, it's so good already. Yeah, for the finishing touch, we need to make sure it stays in there. Must be so glamorous living in a French castle. No, it's not glamorous. We're taping the windows shut, quite literally, but it is fun. So these windows have been done, 3 of them. You can see it right here. And I actually really like it because, oh, from a distance, you can hardly see that it's a mirror. Woo, excuse me. Yeah, from a distance, you can hardly see it's there. So that's what I really like about it. And then I have the one over here with a little bird feeder on it. I want to be able to open it during the winter. And I don't know how to fix it because it's very drafty. And I want it to be sealed, but I don't want it to be sealed. Like I want to be able to open it if I burn something in the kitchen so I can let the air flow through. Right, Monty? Monty's like, why are dishes in the sink? I need to be here. Like, sorry, Monty, I needed to stand there. So yeah, how am I going to fix this one over here? The problem I have with the window is actually the same thing that I have with the doors. And this is also the reason that we actually want to change a lot of the windows and doors. There's tons of people who are saying, if you want better isolation, you can just restore the doors and put a thicker glass in it. People all go on about the actual windows, like the actual glass sheets. And yes, they're like 2 millimeters thin, and it would be really nice if they were thicker. But that's not the actual problem. The actual problem is that a lot of our doors and windows aren't, they don't fit anymore. So I don't know if they've ever fit before, but right now they're not closing. And you can restore all the windows in the world, but that still won't make your doors close. I'm going to try to see if I can show it to you with this door. Let's see if I can put the camera right here. Oh, beautiful zoom effect. Not really what I want. Here we go. Here you can see it. This is the door on the one side, and then that's like a good chunk of my finger right there. That's the difference between the two doors. So if I stick something on here, hold on, I'm gonna use the actual example. I have these babies. They make sense to hello, Monty. They make sense to put on here, like I did on the bottom. It will catch your draft. It's perfect. However, I used to have like on the lower part, it's not that crooked, and I can just stick it there. That's perfect. But up here, it's a difference. I hope you'll forgive the shaky camera because you don't know the challenges it's giving me to actually film this for you. Okay, so this is what happens if I'm covering the crack, perfect, with a little bristle, I was gonna say. But then look over here, you can see that it's not doing anything at all, and the wind can actually just come through here. So no, just no. We've seriously considered sealing the kitchen doors shut the way I did with the windows during the winter and just use the door in the hallway as an entrance, because we have 9 or 10 doors that actually go outside on the entire ground floor. We don't use them all at the same time, let me tell you. But the one in the kitchen is actually really handy, and I'm not ready to keep it shut. So I'm finding a different solution for it. Sorry for the abominable filming qualities. It's really hard to film above your head with only one hand and point and stuff. Yeah, stick with me. Sorry, I had to laugh because I was just talking about sticking the things to the windows. So stay with me until I actually figure it out. Proper filmmaking dictates that I should now give you an ending to this video. The problem is that the project hasn't yet ended. And this is exactly the reason why I've hesitated for so long to start recording what we do here, because there will be a lot of unsatisfactory moments where we start something and you're like, did they even finish it? We probably didn't. That's what life is here. So I'll give you an update here so you'll know for the next time. This back here, we need a tractor, basically. Because if we are just gonna keep sticking it into the barrel wheel, we'll be here forever. Back there is a massive pile of actual wood. But we can't get the tractor in here, so we need a system, right? These pallets over here will be for my compost. But I still need to make that. Ideally, I would have a spot over here to make the compost bins, where they'll be in the shade. This is far enough away from the house so we won't be bothered by any smell. But these are remnants of a tree that fell 4.5 years ago. This we need to get the tractor and move this, because we just placed it here then because we were like, I don't know. We literally lived here for a day when this happened. So we just threw things in here. So we need a tractor to take this out. And that thing as well. What we don't know what it is, actually. And maybe make some room here in this jungle. And then I can make my compost bins here. And this is what happens very often. That in order to finish one project, you actually have to start like a completely new project. And we're like, yeah, but I really don't want to clean this up right now. So what's going to end up happening is that I'm going to move the pellets to over here, where they'll rot beneath the trees. I don't want that. I want my compost bin. But again, moving them around, because otherwise I'm going to start another project. I'm like, no, not right now. For the rest of this project, I mean, this is the start of all of it. We wanted to clear this out and then use the courtyard together with this. But in order for us to clear this out, we first need to go to the déchetterie to clean that out. And yeah, we haven't gotten to that yet. So this is just staying here for all to see. So, and then we have project pellets. I put a ladder in here because I wanted to scrape the moss off the roof. You see that? No, you can see it, but there's a lot of moss. these things are super heavy. We need a tractor for that as well. We do have a tractor, so that's no worries. We just have to make a day of it. And then, well, tractor. And over here, you think this is a pile of leaves, but actually, when you look closer, this is a gate. Not a gate. Barrière. Un grill. I don't know. It's like that. Iron. And yeah, here you guessed it. We need a tractor for that as well. We figured if we tie something to this, then the tractor can move upwards and we can maybe pull it out. And then, of course, we also need to take it away to the déchetterie. So, yeah. There you go. Jan is less busy in his work. I'll be less busy in my work. So we can actually schedule a day to actually do all the tractor work that I just pointed out, to actually go to the déchetterie a few times and just create a system. When you create a system, everything is just quicker, because right now it's a snippet of this and a snippet of that and a snippet of this, and everything stalls. So we need to make it into a system, and then we'll actually get it done quite easily, I think. I want to thank you so much for tuning into this very first episode in our new chapter of YouTube. And I hope you've enjoyed it. And this, as I said, already 4 weeks have passed. I've filmed a ton of stuff in the meantime. And it's all a bit random. That's because this is not your regular chateau renovation. Like, we do things in very small bits, because we both have a very busy life. We both have our own businesses, and we have 2 little girls, and we like to have a social life as well, as do sports, stuff like that. So it's not all renovation and not much else for the rest of the day. So we take baby steps, and if this interests you, I mean, this is life at the castle for us. And I hope that you like it, and I hope that you'll come along with us while we keep filming it. See you in the next one. Bye.